Hello guys, good afternoon today. Yes, we are still on the series You Can Do Your Visas Yourself. Today I want to talk on how to get a job in Canada with LMIA. How to get a visa sponsored job, visa sponsorship job in Canada with LMIA. This one is a secret I have not revealed before. So follow me to the end, I'll be quick. The best way to get job easily in less than 1 week when you apply to jobs in Canada is to apply to jobs in rural areas. Almost all the employers in rural areas, what we call the villages, have their LMIA ready because they know that most people want to work in urban areas. So they in rural areas, they have their LMIA certificate already. So as soon as you are applying the job, they are giving you a job offer with an LMIA number that you submit at the embassy. Applying to jobs in the villages is the best and the quickest. If you are applying to jobs in Toronto, in Ontario, the pressure is much there. You apply to jobs in the villages. Enter Canada first before you make alternative. All the jobs we get, at times when we apply to jobs, within 2 weeks we've gotten a job offer because we apply to villages, and that is the secret our recruiters still use. Alright, now a recruiter give me list of villages that you can apply to job and get a response within weeks. I want to list these villages to you because here I give you information the way they are. One, you apply to a village called Gunton. It's a rural area, Gunton. But you know one thing about rural areas. Rural areas are sweet to live in. That's where you have the highest comfort you can talk about, you can think about. I've lived in rural area before in Germany, and I imagine how I wasted my years living in Berlin. I understand it. If you live in rural areas, oh my God. Everything you need is in rural areas. Don't compare to what you have in Africa. I visited a rural area in South Africa and I laughed. Don't compare to what you have in Africa. I have lived in rural area in Germany. I have lived in rural area in Poland. I lived there for 2 months. I have lived in rural area in Bulgaria. You can't compare rural areas to anything. The comfort you want, the cost of living is so cheap. And when you migrate to a country, live in rural areas, save money. That is the secret of living well abroad. How to make it there, you have to live in rural areas. And number one place I want to mention is called Gunton. Gunton is spelled G-U-N-T-O-N. The other one is Shelley. Shelley is spelled S-H-E-L-L-E-Y. The other one is called Edlin. So when you're applying to job, you just target these areas. Edlin. The other one is called Palestine. It's not the Palestine in Asia. It's called Palestine. Spelled the same as Palestine. The other one is called Eastgate. When you apply to job, target these areas. You get the employers here are looking for workers. Mad. The other one is called North Branch. North Branch. The other one is called Spring Lake. These are names of villages. I don't want to call them rural area, I call them villages. These are names of villages. They are in them need of workers. They already have their LMIA ready. They will give you job, visa sponsorship, and they give you your LMIA number so you apply to the embassy immediately. The other one is called Lucknow. Lucknow is spelled L-U-C-K-N-O-W. Lucknow or Lucknow. The other one is spelled Denver, like in Denver, Colorado. The other one is spelled Mitchell. Mitchell. M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L. The other one is called Anzac. The other one is called Barren. There are 26 he gave to me, but I want to give you this 12 first. When you target your job, target these communities. I tell you, I have lived in rural areas. I enjoyed it more than the urban areas. No noise pollution, nothing. You enjoy life there. The cost of living is minimal. You can afford to buy properties in 1 year. My story is this. In Germany, when I lived in a rural area in Germany, within 1 year, I was able to buy property there. But I lived in Berlin for how many years? I was spending all my money on bills. So when you relocate, look to rural areas. And I'll give you a list of these communities. Apply to jobs in these communities. When you go to your job bank, you know how to search job bank. I've taught us how to search job bank, how to search for jobs in job bank. When you search for jobs in job banks, you put in these communities. All right? You search your job using your keywords. Then you type for jobs in these communities. All the employers, I searched them myself today before making this video because the recruiter sent them to me since yesterday. I said I want to check. I checked all the employers in this list that I've given to all of them have labor market impact assessment certificates. So apply now. Start applying now. I want to get testimony tomorrow, next week that I've gotten a job in one of these communities I mentioned. Thank you guys. Always follow us here. Like our video, share our video. At times they can be long, but we give out information that exists and works.